Welcome here to Rockingham. It's race number 4 for the Truck Series here on 4 Wide Motorsports on the 4 Wide Motorsports Network. Well, it's been quite the start to the season. My name is Scott Shive. I'm joined alongside by Emmett Crow, Chris Norris, and of course we've got Tracy Brown in production. Well, gentlemen, the whole conversation we've been having is Hunter Carlson, 3 wins in a row.
Yeah, definitely Hunter's been on a hot streak, but you yourself, Scott Shive, has been on a hot streak in the late model side on the alternate week. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been fun to be strong. I've had some great competition, some great competitors around me, and a lot of those competitors in your field here this evening. Zachary Pantano puts it on pole, and Pantano second in points right now behind Hunter Carlson. Then it's Charles Oberg, his best qualifying of the season, puts him in the second row. Stephen Luttrell in the 36 will put it in third place. Austin Cansdale in the 33. He's more likely been Austin Unlucky Cansdale here ever since we went to Iowa. Maybe that luck will turn around this evening. Hunter Carlson, your 3-time winner in row number 3 with Paul Dillon. And it's Austin Pack, Benjamin Hallbaugh. Row number 4, Landon Brown and Chris Golden rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, and you got Yogi Schlier lining up next to Colton Brenner in row 6. Row 7, you got Bradley Young, Joshua Tressler, and Daniel Jones bringing up the rear.
Well, here we go. Let's get it on for the Rock 125. It's race number 4. Pantano out to a great start side by side with Oberg. Luttrell goes through. Oberg falling quickly.
Yeah, Oberg's starting to fade real quick, but look at that. Your points leader, Mr. Hunter Carlson, right back up there, and he's got Stephen Luttrell in his sights trying to get up on Pantano.
We're going to get my timing screen back and ready, but Luttrell, a great jump, a quick jump. Carlson, he's also gained 2 spots as well. Cansdale sits in 4th. Oberg settles down into 5th position for the moment, but it looks like Austin Pack, he's trying to work forward in that Bass Pro number 81. He's up into 6th, but look at Paul Dillon in the 113. Paul Dillon looked low. He's going to swing it up towards the high side, but won't be able to carry that momentum out of turn number 2. But Paul Dillon looked really, really great at Dover when the race got away from him midway through. Could we see Paul Dillon possibly get up towards the front here at Rockingham?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Paul Dillon does coming off that P2 at Dover. Unbelievable move by Hunter Carlson to win that race. But look at Austin Pack. I believe, is that Carson Quapple throwback late model team, I believe?
I think it's been. That's what he's been running here in the trucks as well as the late models. That's kind of what it looks like, what he's been running here recently.
From Walkertown, North Carolina. A stable name when it comes to Bowman Gray and Winston-Salem. Pac-Man on the move, working on Oberg.
I got to tell y'all, I have no idea what's going on with the timing screen with ATVO for me this night, but we'll have to figure that out later. Good thing it's on the left side of your screen for all of you viewers watching along here from Rockingham. But we got to pose the question, can Hunter Carlson go for 4 in a row? I mean, 3 in a row is already really, really impressive here in the trucks, especially with the level of competition and the way these races played out for Carlson. But 4 in a row, I mean, I don't know. It almost seemed unfathomable at the start of the season.
Yeah, and then look at, I mean, with Stephen Luttrell coming in, that gives you some more competition. I mean, this field is very stacked. Patano's done a great job, as we're seeing hit the wall right there. He's done a great job running second at points, doing a great job with these guys. And he did fill out his stuff, so that will not be a point penalty after all.
Don't want any point penalties. Don't want that on the evening at all. 62, Zachary Pantano leads up towards the front. And I believe this is the first time he's been up front since Dover. Him and Paul Dillon ran 1 and 2 for the first half of that race. But look at this battle right here. 4 cars under a blanket, all in the battle for 6th. This is the drivers at 6th through 9th. Yogi Schleer back there. That's Landon Brown, I believe, in the number 5. Yes, in the 8th spot. And Yogi Schleer is right behind them. But Paul Dillon not having a good go of it down to the bottom. Oberg trying to use the high line to whip his way around. Landon Brown sits right there in 8th, trying to use the high line as well. Follow the 77 through.
Yeah, look at Yogi Schleer's scheme. He's got the Yahoo. I mean, not Yahoo. Woohoo paint scheme. Is it Yahoo? Yoo-hoo.
It's the Yoo-hoo.
I couldn't remember. Yahoo's the search engine. Woohoo's from Open Season. That's right. I forgot.
Well, I got to say, I love the look of that number 12. It's a great paint scheme. And that paint scheme, hard to miss Yogi Schleer on track in this number 12. That number 12 currently running in the 9th spot. Oberg has gotten back into 6th. Austin Pack got around him just a few laps prior to this. Now Landon Brown going to move in front of the 113 of Paul Dillon. So Landon Brown moving forward in the number 5. Not the greatest qualifying for him, and he hasn't raced with FWM in quite a couple of weeks. He's been busy over handling everything with Leadfoot Racing. We're glad to see him back in the trucks this season. We always get love when the Brown family runs with us. Of course, Tracy always beside us here in the booth, running our production booth. But Landon Brown out here on track, currently in 7th.
Yeah, Landon Brown having a good run in that 5 Leadfoot Racing TV. Number 5 Chevy Silverado. Leadfoot TV, excuse me. Don't quote me on it, but yeah, he's doing a great job. And what a moment for Leadfoot TV to see that sponsor on the front of another driver in the field, Mr. Chris Golden's ARCA Ford Mustang in real life. What a moment for the Brown family and everybody at Leadfoot.
It was really cool when we got to see all of that. It was so cool to get to watch everything go down with that. Chris Golden obviously had the problems there on track. when they got to run that scheme at Salem, but doing a little bit better here on the iRacing side this evening. Breaking into the top 10 is at number 86 as we still have this battle raging on with Landon Brown and Paul Dillon in the 113. 15 laps completed so far, 110 left to run.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know this or not, Scott, but it looks like, oh man, it looks like Chris Golden's owner/driver, Mr. Alex Clubb, is going to be running with FWM coming up. So that's going to be awesome to see. Get another ARCA driver in here, see, and give some good competition for these guys.
Well, I have to agree, some good competition. Here's the 8, Benjamin Hallball, running in 11th spot, trying to get himself up towards the front of the field, up in the top 10. Joshua Tressler in the number 20, getting to run with us here once again. That scheme looked a lot like Austin Pax there, just with a different number for Tressler.
Yeah, and going back to Daniel Jones. So the crazy thing is, I don't know if you know this or not, Scott, but a lot of leagues would not let their guys run a turning point scheme. So glad that FWM let Mindful run it. Of course, when you're the vice president, I mean, you get to run anything. But yeah, Colton Brenner doing a great job in that 14. Is that Grizzlies on that car?
Not quite sure.
High side racing on the front, and then maybe it says graphics on the corner on the side panel.
Yeah, that's awesome. A young man right there that's been doing a rather great job the last 2 or 3 races. He's been cleaning up his racecraft, and he's doing a great job.
Doing a great job. The 14 of Briner, who currently runs in 14th, as we've got a scrap possibly going on for the lead. Bradley Young, a lap car, almost getting in the way of the 63, but Stephen Luttrell looking for his first win in the trucks this season. He's won in the Gen 4s as well as Hunter Carlson, but he has yet to be able to win over here in the Truck Series. But Pantano, this has been the closest the lead has been all race long. 20 laps completed this time across, and look, Carlson and Cansdale are not too far back as Luttrell looks to the inside at Rockingham. He's looking for the lead for the first time today. They're wheel-to-wheel out of 2.
Yeah, coming down the backstretch, Pantano's going to get the run on that high side, but I want to say this also about Stephen Luttrell. I mean, what hasn't he? I mean, the trucks are the only thing he hasn't won in at FWM. I mean, Stephen Luttrell has come into FWM and turned into a well-decorated driver with all those wins he's got, Scott. So, I mean, if he hits this could be the Grand Slam for sure for Stephen Luttrell.
Could be a possible Grand Slam for Stephen Luttrell, just continuing to prove how good he is across different racing disciplines within stock car racing. He's won in trucks, he's won in Gen 4s, he's won in late models, he's won in mini stocks, but he has yet to win in the trucks, and he'll take the lead for the first time today. Here comes Hunter Carlson as well. Gotta wonder, guys, did Pantano go too hard too early?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking he did, Scott. And then also we think about, earlier we saw him scrape the wall. Could that damage have something playing into the ill handling of that racetrack for sure?
It's highly possible. It's highly likely. Have to see as the race continues to progress. Good news, I've got my timing screen back up and ready to go. So I can tell you your biggest mover currently, it looks like it's a tie between Joshua Tressler and Daniel Jones back in 11th and 12th so far. Not too many big movers, though. Charles Oberg, your biggest dropper, sadly. He's 6 positions down back in 8th spot, but really not a lot of movement here through the field, gentlemen. It seems like it might be a little bit more difficult to pass. As I say that, Hunter Carlson trying to complete this pass for 2nd spot. But again, we wonder how hard Zach Pantano went in those first 20 laps because now Stephen Luttrell is absolutely walking away now, almost a second lead over the 32 of Carlson. And
he hit the wall
Pantano
hard.
going to get the wall.
Yeah, that's what I saw earlier, Scott. That's what I was talking about. I saw him hit the wall earlier. But I just want to ask a question. Do you think, for Hunter Carlson, do you think Copperhead Racing is located on Copperhead Road?
I don't know. I do not know. I got to think. Maybe he likes snakes or something.
Is that our producer, Tracy Brown, on the front of that truck?
Yes, it is. Oh, well, there we go. Gansell going to get the wall just a little bit with the Eastern Technical Design 33. But what a beautiful, beautiful scheme that is. I do love the look of the black and the yellow. Always love that font style for the 33. It's the RCR style. It looks good for Austin Lucky Gansell. And look at that. First driver coming to the pits today. Sounds like it's going to be Colton Brenner. Yeah, I don't know why, guys. I always want to say Briner, and it is absolutely Brenner. I gotta apologize for that. It's just stuck in my head. Here comes Pantano. Wow, what an entrance to the pits.
Yeah, he was flying. Oh man, but
I think he had a little early downshift there, Emmett.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But it was funny when we saw that cancel paint scheme when we were getting ready to grid, and I looked at it, and you remember Ron Hornaday when he ran the 33 Longhorn scheme for KHI?
Yeah, I do.
That's exactly what that paint scheme looks like, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Oh, man.
So the only driver to come into the pits so far on the lead lap is Zach Pantano. Saw Colton Brenner come in as well. But no other drivers that were on the lead lap into the pit.
Yeah, look at Yogi Schleer get a big run right here, trying to get up next to Tressler, trying to make the move.
Schleer looks like he's been into the pits.
Yeah, looks like it, definitely. I mean, Austin Pack, excuse me.
Yeah, Pack has absolutely been on the move. In the number 81, has yet to come into pit road. Here he comes now. 81, Austin Pack into the lane. Same with Paul Dillon. He'll follow him in. And looks like the 81 got slowed up there pretty early.
Gentlemen, I got an answer for your Copperhead Racing. Billy Cooper 8414 said Copperhead Racing was set up by my son TJ because it was what his grandpa was called when he did iRacing.
Well, there we go.
Well, TJ Spadenhauer of Studio 86 ran with us in the modifieds, if y'all fans remember.
So Austin Gansell has come in. 36 of Luttrell is in this time. Guys, this is a really, really long pit road.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, it's like they could run a drag strip down this pit road. I mean, this is crazy.
Well, a lot of chances to be speeding here. You definitely want to be careful. Make sure you're not getting a speeding penalty. That's a 40-second. It's a drive-through and 40-second hold in your pit stall. So you definitely don't want to be caught speeding on pit road here at Rockingham. We're only 1/4 of the way through this race, wholly and truly. So you definitely don't want to make a mistake. Looks like Landon Brown, he has a black flag. It could be speeding in the pit lane because he is still on pit road. I think he might be serving a penalty right now because he is just sitting in his box. No movement, no tires, no jacks. Nothing going on within the activeness of his pit road. So this could be him serving that 40-second penalty that we just mentioned.
Yeah. Looks funny seeing a rookie stripe on Austin Pack's truck.
He is definitely not a rookie in the number 81.
Yeah, Wayne Cannon said got to be a 36 fan tonight. The man made me a Kick A logo for our upcoming Monster Madness series. Go Luttrell.
That's right. They're coming out with the FWM Monster Madness Monster Truck series.
That is going to be fun for a lot of these drivers. lot for drivers to enjoy here at 4 Wide Motorsports on the 4 Wide Motorsports Network. I'm Scott Shive, joined alongside with Emmett Crow and Chris Norris with Tracy Brown in production. We're glad to bring you all of the action here each Monday and Friday from the trucks, late model stocks, and Gen 4s. Pantano trying to get back the lead. He is back in the lead now with the pit cycle, and he was on those fresh tires early, but again, Emmett, we saw him drop off there towards the end of the run. So you got to wonder if Pantano might make changes here and run a little easier, because if he does not make changes, then I believe that 36 will swallow him whole.
Oh, definitely. And we've seen him, like you said, run real hard, and he gets that left front and that right front and that right rear up in those marbles, and we've seen him get into the wall a couple times. Pretty hard contact the last time he hit. So definitely look out for that for sure.
It was pretty significant contact the last time we saw him get into the wall. So we'll probably try to be avoiding that one. Luttrell moving into second, Carlson in third, Cansdale in fourth, and Austin Pack in fifth. So the only change from before we went to the first round of green flag pit stops was that 63 getting back around Stephen Luttrell under these green flag pit stops.
Yeah, definitely is. Now we see Pantano putting Pack. Oh, this is for position. My bad. No, wait. Hold on. Oh, it's Tressler. There needs to be a rule where you can't run a similar paint scheme to somebody else.
Yeah, golly. Those two making it a little bit difficult on our eyes. Here's the 12 Yogi Schleer. He's running out there in the Yoo-Hoo scheme. And here is the 20 of Joshua Tressler, currently running. Let's see. He is one lap down in 11, so he just went that lap down. And I want to say, yes, he has been in the pits. He's already been in the pits, so a little bit of a slower race. But currently, I think the only driver that has not come into the lane here as of recent has been Yogi Schleer. But it looks like Yogi Schleer is off cycle, guys, because he was in 20 laps ago.
Yeah, that's what it definitely looks like, and how that truck was handling so good. And a great move by Yogi Schleer, to gain some track position from that call from pitting early. But I didn't mean to cut you off right there, Scott, but right when we were talking about Tressler, Pantano got up again and scraped the wall once again.
Pantano pushing it to the limit. And here at Rockingham, it's obviously a very interesting track. Two ends built very differently. You enter turn one, you kind of enter in that second groove, and if you want to go to the bottom, you cut down after that, but you always really enter. Honestly, it's a lot like North Wilkesboro and the way that you enter in the second lane, even if you're running on the bottom, and then cut down to the bottom in the center of the corner. So you can see Pantano digging it up a little bit high. Tressler trying to get back on the lead lap. You can see all the time he loses running the bottom in comparison to the 63, who's up on the high side. But look at that, peaking right in the mirror of the 63. Well, it's the opposite number, the 36. Switch him around. Luttrell is on the hunt and looking to take back the lead at Rockingham. He wants that first win.
Yeah, he definitely does. As we see right here, Luttrell gets a great run this time. He learned from his mistake down the backstretch where we saw Pantano get a run. So now he's just going to try to get a little side draft off that 63 and pull alongside of Pantano and try to take this lead right here.
Looking Pantano using the high line. I got to tell you guys, Chris, you can weigh on this a little bit. You're going to use up your right sides a little bit more over time running that high line. I think that might be the reason earlier we saw the disparity between the tires of the 63 and the 36, because Pantano has stayed stuck to that high line, ripping the top and using the momentum and all that speed and that force driving the tires into the pavement is what cheese graters them just a little bit more than running the bottom.
Yeah, well, I mean, those little pebbles that come up, they all wash up to the top lane, to the top of the track as these guys are going around. And that stuff is like glass, and it just shreds those tires when you get in them. So you really have to be careful running that high line up there on that wall like that, because you will pick up those shards and they will tear your tires up pretty good.
This is a great defense by Pantano. You saw that nice move into turn one, blocking the 36, but it's not going to last long enough. Luttrell going to sweep by him, but here comes Pantano. Crossover on the inside, the pink 63 looking to take the lead back. Not going to be able to hold it. He washes up high and gets tight. Luttrell takes it back on lap 49 of 125 here at the Rock.
Yeah, and great job by Pantano for using the ARCA brake right there. Because here's the thing: if he doesn't lift right there, he gets into Luttrell and all heck breaks loose on the track. So great job by Pantano, but it's just like we were saying, Scott. As we see Hunter Carlson get to the wall. But when you get up there, we saw right there with Pantano, the marbles are starting to pick up, and that's going to put debris on your tires. As we see Austin Peck get to the wall.
Pack, big moment off of turn two. That's going to allow Paul Dillon to move into the top five. Good job from the 113 so far, having a fairly solid race. Started in sixth, and he was pretty much solidified in sixth until Pack had that moment out of turn number two, so he moved up into the top five. Pack's going to have to take a moment to let these tires cool back down. It was a good save, though, and pretty close between contact for him and Paul Dillon in the 113.
Yeah, but it's starting to see it, Scott. Are you starting to see it like I am, where if you get up there, there must be the marbles are picking up, and these guys are getting those marbles on their tires, and that's what's causing them, to get loose and get up into that wall. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would definitely say that. I think these drivers are putting it on the limit, and it's hard to run up towards that wall, especially as the tires wear and get worse on and on. Carlson running in second, 0.7 of a second behind Luttrell. These the two strongest cars all evening long. It looks like Pantano is usually strong on the fresh tires, but he's not able to hold it long enough over these other two competitors. But Luttrell has come to play, and he's trying to end the streak for Carlson of consecutive wins.
Yeah, and we're coming up on the halfway point in just a few laps. So this is going to get very interesting. Will we see these guys pit again? Do you think they'll come in and try to get some tires and fuel? Or are they going to stick it out and just lay in the bed that they made?
I don't know. I think a lot of these drivers, I think tires are a premium. As Cansdale, wow, gets really close to the wall there. It's a great run out of turn four. Little snap a loose moment into turn number one. Going to slide up in front of the 63. Think Pantano lifted a little bit there, and that is going to put Austin Lucky Cansdale into the third position. The man in the 33 looking for a good finish.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Austin because anytime he puts Eastern Technical Design on his truck, something happens. So maybe he can finally get the monkey off his back and put that beautiful looking 33 with a great shot of our and oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Oh man.
I'm not saying anything anymore.
You got to quit putting the hex on that boy.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. I was saying maybe you can do it, but oh man, just
yeah. He's hanging in there.
He's hanging in there. Cansdale going to fall back into fourth spot.
Dylan Renner said, "There's the man, the myth, the legend, Big Romo." And then he said, "Take what I said back."
So, for our fans at home that are wondering who the heck is Romo, so I guess Austin Cansdale.
Did you see that? Pantano got a little tight on exit there out of two, got into the wall, and that allowed Cansdale back through. Go ahead, Emmett.
Definitely. Well, so Austin Cansdale's a diehard Cowboys fan, right? And his favorite player growing up was Tony Romo. So I guess he wore a Romo jersey every day. And at his high school, somewhere in Tennessee, he got known as Romo. So we call him Lucky. They call him Romo. So but his name's Austin Cansdale, as the fans at home know.
Well, you know what rhymes with Romo?
Don't do it.
Oh, I was going to say Pantano. He's into the pit lane, first of the cycle.
That's not what I was thinking.
I don't know what
Well-
you were thinking, and I don't think I want to know. Pantano is into the pit lane. Luttrell continuing to stay out, as well as Carlson, Cansdale, Dillon, and Pack. Those are the current top 5. Also want to shout out Chris Golden in the number 86. Has run a solid race so far. He is now your new biggest mover. He's up 4 spots after starting in 10th. He's currently running 6th, with Pantano having come into the pit lane. But Golden running quietly so far, trying to move forward. Maybe he can scrap a top 5 out of today.
Yeah, Chris
Charles,
Golden.
Charles Oberg is barely hanging on to the lead lap, doing a good job. After starting, where did he start? Outside pole? Didn't
Yes.
Oberg start
yes, he
outside?
did.
Yeah. So I've been kind of watching him, and yeah, he slipped way back at the start, and he's just been hanging around, running in 7th right now, but he's staying on that lead lap, so he's fighting.
So Oberg continuing to fight in the number 77, trying to claw a good finish out of the day after an excellent qualifying effort, his best of the season. None of the other leaders have come into the pits yet. So Pantano, the only one, he's been out there for about 2 laps. I don't know if I'm Pantano. I really don't know what to do here because he's in a really tough spot, guys. He's pitted so much earlier than these other drivers. That's one of the reasons his tires are falling off so early. But I think it's also his lane choice. He's running in that higher groove and kind of shaving off the good of those Goodyear tires. But if Pantano wants to stay in this fight, I think he's going to have to find a way to conserve those tires while keeping enough speed up to defend from Luttrell later in the run.
Yeah, and that's exactly right, Scott. And another thing, going back to why we haven't seen the leaders pit, I think we're seeing a game of cat and mouse. Big game of cat and mouse between Luttrell and Carlson. Carlson's probably going to do whatever Luttrell does to be on the same strategy call. But, I mean, look right here. It's like, do you want to pit? No, I don't want to pit. Do you want to pit? No, I don't want to pit. Going back and forth, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Well, you know who wants to pit? It is the 33 of Cansdale, and the same with Luttrell. Cansdale in this time, Luttrell coming in the next time around, and Charles Oberg is going to be in the lane as well. See if everybody can keep up their pit stops and get in and out as quick as they can. Again, last time it was fairly clean for pretty much everyone except the 5 of Landon Brown, who we believe had a speeding penalty and had to come back into the pit lane and serve that penalty. But it would be detrimental if it happened from any of the top 5, any of our leaders. Luttrell, you'll see him in the 8K Motorsports, a driver from Kansas City, Missouri, come into that front or near the 3rd pit stall on the lane. Cansdale is good and gone. Here is Hunter Carlson, driver from Illinois. We discovered the reasons for the name of Copperhead Racing. Well, that Copperhead Racing machine wants to go to victory lane just another time. Could he make it 4 in a row, guys? I think his biggest competition is Luttrell.
Yeah, definitely going to be Stephen Luttrell is going to be his biggest competition, because the bad thing is about Zach Pantano is he's shooting himself in the foot running that high of a line, because it's going to eat up his tires so bad. And I mean, it could play out, but the way it's looking, it looks like this is going to be between Luttrell and Carlson for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and I think, Luttrell is a very, very fast driver. We've obviously seen that. And so I think if we're stacking straight up talent, I think we've got the results that can show the talent of Luttrell. I think Pantano is a little bit younger in his tenure, especially younger here, in his tenure with 4 Wide Motorsports. So we haven't gotten to see a ton of Pantano's potential. Obviously, we saw a good spark, a good light of that at Dover Motor Speedway, and we're seeing a great effort here at Rockingham. But I think we've just seen a lot of the results from Stephen Luttrell, is why if people stacked up the 2 of them, you might go with Luttrell And Luttrell is proving that. Each pit stop, he's gotten closer and closer and is taking the lead faster and faster. Patano trying to block. There we go. Luttrell going to give him a little bit of a nudge into 1. Now out of 2, Luttrell wants to get by.
Yeah, and Luttrell, not known for, using the bumper, but, I mean, Patano just straight out blocked him, just slammed the door on him. So Luttrell just, giving him a shot, telling him, hey, I'm here, waving his hand, And, yeah, but it just shows the difference of racecraft also. I mean, we see Stephen Luttrell, as we ride on board with him, has, he's been got the more experience with the racecraft, and Patano's getting there. Patano's on the verge of being right here with these 2 drivers. So give it to Patano. Keep it great defensive driving, but Luttrell's going to make a move, but it's just a matter of when he's going to make that move, Scott.
Again for Patano, let's give a reminder to the fans. He is currently second in points, 28 behind Hunter Carlson. So he's had some great runs so far. He finished second at Iowa just a couple of races ago. He finished 6th at Atlanta, so 2 great finishes for him. He did not have the greatest finish after Dover Motor Speedway, where he started so handily, got involved in some incidents, finished 15th, but he's shown great speed with 2 top 10s and 1 top 5. One of those, his only top 5, being a runner-up. Luttrell, on the other hand, he has only run in 1 race this year, and it was earlier at Dover. It was actually the last race out. It was at Dover, and he finished in 3rd, so it was a great time for him to get on the podium, but he wants more than a podium. We've talked about that hunger to win, and we've talked about how he's won in our other series here with 4Wide Motorsports, and the trucks are looking no different.
Yeah, no, looking no different at all, and I'm trying to see what is on the front of Stephen Luttrell's truck.
I know we've got a camera for the front of these trucks, and I'm not sure.
That is a 10th Mountain Army patch logo.
There we go. Chris Norris gives us the answer.
Heavily medicated.
Most of those 10th Mountain guys are. As should be.
So, Luttrell takes back the lead in his number 36 with only 50 laps remaining. 75 laps have flew right on by. Guys, what do you say we take a quick break here from 4Y on the 4Wide Motorsports Network? We'll be back to you in just a couple of laps. What a green flag run this has been. You can see it right in front of you. The battle for the lead heating up. Earlier it was Pantano and Luttrell. Now it's Luttrell and Carlson. Carlson has been hounding on him the past couple of laps, slowly and surely crawling farther and farther forward. Again, Luttrell looking for his first win of the season, coming off of a podium from Dover Motor Speedway 2 weeks ago. And Carlson with arguably more to lose for himself. 3 wins in a row, trying to make it 4. 36 laps remaining, 89 complete. I think this is going to be a heck of a battle, Chris.
Yeah, it's sure shaping up to be that. Right now, these two are, 5.5 seconds ahead of Cansdale, and they're just kind of riding it out, feeling one another out right now. I think right now Hunter probably has the biggest advantage because he's riding behind the trail and he's learning as he's following. So he's sizing him up right now, I promise.
Well, let's look at the lap times right now. Carlson at last lap, just 0.07 of a second slower. But these two drivers within 1/10 of each other every single lap. This time across the stripe, it's going to be Carlson that is just 0.03 of a second faster. So these two extremely similar on speed. And you know what that tells me, Chris? It's going to be an extremely difficult pass for the 32. We've already seen that Rockingham is a little bit tougher to pass than some tracks that we have been at. And when you're trying to pass a guy that you're almost the same speed on, when we saw it last week between me and Austin Pack, we were so close on speed that it was so difficult for him to try to get around me at Stafford. And that's what I related back to here at Rockingham. These two are very, very close.
Yeah, they are. And they're both of them such great competitors, but they're also gentlemen on the track. But when it comes down to that last couple of laps, if these guys get side by side, watch out.
Yeah, I would have to say that. And they're getting fairly close to being side by side, just less than 0.2 of a second between the two of them. That last lap, Carlson about 0.05 of a second slower. So these two drivers so close on this speed, and this battle, I don't think it's going to be going anywhere. I think we've got one more pit stop that these drivers are going to have to take, because we are 28 laps into this run, the longest of the race so far. I imagine drivers trying to make it a little bit even, so we might see pit stops here even within the next 3 laps. Here we go, Cansdale's coming in.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say which one of these guys are going to pull a short stop, try to gain an advantage that way. Looks like with Cansdale at this point being 6 seconds back, he has nothing to lose. So
here comes
I think that's a smart move on his part.
Over the radio, Luttrell said he's coming in this time. Carlson's going to swing it up high. He is going to stay out. So 1 lap ago it was the 33. This lap it was the 36. Did he get slowed down enough right there? We will have to see. Don't think I see any speeding penalties. No flags in ATVO. So he's all good. He was really charging the entry to pit road. Now, the next question, when will Hunter Carlson come in?
Yeah, that is
the answer is now.
Here he is. I was going to say, I don't think you'll see him stay out too many
Ask
laps.
and you shall receive. Now we wait to see who had the best pit stop. It was Luttrell over Carlson by under 0.2 of a second when we began this pit cycle. It was Cansdale just a couple of seconds behind these two. Carlson now into the box. Still the leader. This is Luttrell running into 3, now through the center and out of 4. Carlson has the left sides up. Now he gets it going out of the box. Through the center, 1 and 2. Here you're going to see him, bottom of your picture, Luttrell running in second, Carlson at the lead, and it's going to be Luttrell getting him by quite a margin. And I've got to say, guys, that's why you try the short pit. That's why you try the undercut.
Yeah, definitely, and it's just all about where you're gonna blend. Uh, if you do short pit, seeing if you can make it, see if you can try to jump them and get them off their strategy. But yeah, great move by Luttrell for sure to pit a little earlier than Carlson, and that's why he's got the lead.
Why he has the lead. We saw Carlson, after that last run, slowly move forward and forward and forward. Can he do the same on this run? Can he save enough? Will he have enough at the end to be able to pass the 36? We saw when he got to him, he was unable to get around him. And whoa, we're going to have to make a big check up there with the aid of Benjamin Hallbaugh. He's going to lose a little bit of time because of that. And all time is precious here with just under 26 to go.
Yeah, and another thing, Scott, if you watch Hunter Carlson right here, watch him go to the turn. That truck looks kind of a little bit loose, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, tires still trying to get to temperature. Looking here on entry, the car looks a little unsettled. Of course, Rockingham here, quite a bumpy surface. So these drivers really have putting a lot of wheel into it. A lot of inputs throughout the corner, especially here in the entry to one. You can see they enter a little bit down, slide up, and then cut down to try to carry good speed off of two. And then here in four, cut down to the bottom almost immediately, half a lane off the yellow line. Move up slightly on the exit and run it all the way down the curved front straightaway. So the 32. A little tire smoke. Yogi Schleer here in the 12. I think he might get a penalty for that exit a little bit early. You see Schleer here. There might be a little bit of that tire smoke. Yep, it was Schleer getting a little sideways and into the wall. But he's able to keep it straight, Emmett.
Yeah, able to keep it straight. Just didn't get enough heat in those tires. Look at this view. This is looking like NASCAR 25.
Great view here. This is what I used to go back and watch my replays, the chase camera. You see that? Oh, getting a little loose there for Carlson on exit.
So he must be getting loose, like you said, right there on the corner exit. But the corner entry, when he turns in these corners, that truck comes out from under him on the backside for sure.
The one thing I can say, Emmett, that he is closing in on the 36 of Luttrell. It was 1.4 seconds after the green flag pit stop just 7 laps ago. Now, with 20 to go, it's 0.8 of a second, now under 0.8. So Carlson, at this point in the race, is faster. And you see that yellow spoiler right there? You see that car right in front of Oberg? That is Luttrell.
Yeah, and I mean, the old saying is, loose is fast. So he must be very loose if he's able to catch up to Luttrell right here.
Oberg
getting
in the way a little bit there, Chris. You see that?
Yeah, and if you think about it now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you start out loose, and then those tires, as they heat up, it's going to tighten up a little bit. So if you start out tight, you're just going to get tighter. And that might be why he's elected to go with a lot looser setup at the beginning, because he knows it's going to tighten up some as tires heat up.
Well, while this is all going on, Austin Pack, he has blown an engine.
That's what it was. Okay, I was wondering because I saw the 81. This is interesting, guys, because this could bring out a caution.
I think he's got enough to get it back at road. But that is a long, long travel all the way around the track. Of course, these drivers do have fast repairs. But obviously, Pack
he's got some quarter panel damage. He must have got in the wall.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was thinking when we were looking at Carlson. I just saw I thought it was Austin Pack or Joshua Tressler just stopped.
Yeah, Pack got loose out of 4 and tried to correct it, overcorrected a little bit, cut back and slammed into the outside wall off of turn 4, to which his engine expired.
Well, he made it back to pit road.
So Pat going to be able to get a fast repair here.
Tough break for
All
Pack.
the while, yeah. All the while, it remains the same out front. But look at this. Hunter Carlson and Luttrell just under a second apart. The next driver is Austin Cansale, and he is 10 seconds back from the 2 leaders.
Yeah, they're just running away with this thing at this point.
Only 5 cars remain on the lead lap of the 15 that started. What a run. Pack gets back on the track, although 6 laps down after the incident, the solo incident in turn number 4. 14 laps to go, now 13 across the line this time. Does Carlson have enough to get up to Steven Luttrell and take away the lead and take another win for himself to make it 4 in a row? Time is running away. The clock is ticking, and the stopwatch is coming to a close.
Man,
Yeah.
that's going to help out Carlson right there, as Steven Luttrell had to lift right there to not get into the back of Yogi Schleer. Schleer into the wall. I think he's just getting out of the way.
Yeah, Schleer making sure not to interfere with this front battle. Luttrell really didn't lose more than half a tenth in that little moment off of turn number 4. Look at how yawed out that number 36 is. Luttrell truly putting that truck on the edge.
Yeah, he's
Enters really low into turn 1 there, but it's working for his truck.
Yeah, that was weird because he actually gained a lot even after having to lift right there. I've never seen that. Like, you'd think he would lose quite a bit, but he actually gained a lot of time when he lifted. I mean, that lead went from a 6/10 of a second lead to now it's an 8/10 of a second, 7/10. Well, here comes Hunter Carlson, though.
Yeah, Carlson that time just 300ths slower. I don't know if there's going to be enough time for Carlson. They're pretty, I mean, these 2 drivers, almost the same speed every lap. I mean, it's within hundredths. Here comes Austin Pack. He's on fresh tires, so he's going to go around the 32 here.
It's going to take a lot. And, I mean, Carlson, it's going to take probably Luttrell either making a mistake, getting loose, hitting the wall, like scraping the wall or something, for Carlson to even get within a car length.
Yeah, I just don't know if there's enough time because these 2 drivers are so close on their raw pace at this point in the race. 8 laps to go, and it's a 9/10 of a second, almost a second lead. Carlson lost a little bit of time. They're messing with the lap car of Pack. Here comes Pack now.
Oh.
Carlson's going to have to hope that he'll lose some time here as well.
I'm hoping for no net code.
No net code between these 2. Pack going to go through cleanly. And Luttrell will lose just a little bit, about a 10th and a half. But he gains it back here down the straightaway for the most part. I think as long as we remain caution-free, this could be Luttrell's first win of the season.
Yeah, I think if this finishes under green, we're going to be looking at Steven Luttrell as we see Patano on pit road.
Yeah, Patano, a black flag for something. It could have been speeding in the pit lane as well, but he's going to be held. He was running in 4th before coming into the pits. It's a true shame for the number 63 who was looking for a second top 5 of the season, and it's going to go away in the blink of an eye towards the end of this race. 5 remaining. The gap is growing now. It's not even coming down. It's growing between the 32 and the 36. And all Luttrell is thinking about right now is getting to the white flag. That's the one thing on his mind.
Yeah, because their tires have to be getting right there where they're falling off. But, I mean, also another thing, Scott, what about fuel strategy?
Oh, Yogi Schleer, you saw him get into the wall right there off of 2. That had to be a little bit of a scary moment for Carlson. Fuel, you better be good because you're not coming into the pit lane now. You better be good to the end. I think Oh my
Oh,
goodness,
Yogi.
is
Oh, my
Schleer going to
God.
get the wall again?
That
We
truck
haven't had
almost got
one
sideways.
caution all race. We've been
Wow.
green flag since the start. And Schleer, you can see that wheel is damaged. He's going to have to get it back to pit road. Oh, he continues to bounce off the wall. I think he's just trying to keep that car going in circles and not turned around. He's trying to keep it straight as we have just 3 remaining. And here comes Schleer. Yep, he's going to get in the lane this time.
So far, so good as we hit 2 to go this time. It's looking like, I'm not saying nothing, but it's looking like this could be good for Steven Luttrell.
One thing that's been in his mind ever since this pit stop has been the white flag. He'll take it now.
Yeah, gonna jump out to a 1.6 lead, and Scott, take us home.
Steven Luttrell, the man in the 36. He's won in mini stocks. He's won in Gen 4s. When he comes to compete. He's going to lead it all night long. The race goes flag to flag, and Steven Luttrell going to pick up his first win in the Truck Series here with 4 Wide Motorsports. What a win for Steven Luttrell. Carlson comes home in second, couldn't run him down in the end. Still a strong performance. Cansdale off of turn 4 this time will bring it home in third. A much-needed good run for the driver of the 33. Paul Dillon, an excellent effort for him. And look at that, the driver that was started in 10th, just inside the top 10, finishes in the top 5. His name is Chris Golden.
Yeah, definitely. But another big thing, Patano hit the wall. But how about Austin Cansdale finally brought the Eastern Technical Design 33 machine home clean, no damage. Great job, Austin.
So Steven Luttrell takes it up to the front straightaway to the start-finish line and burns it down. He shows us his talent each and every race and why he is such a good competitor. It's across many different cars.
I totally forgot, Scott. He also won in the ARCA Series and the SK Modified Series.
So I figured as much. I figured he has won now in every single type of iRacing series we have done, except did he win in the late models?
Yes, he did. He won in the late models. So yeah, every
Steven Luttrell, probably it's like the Oklahoma State stat this weekend. Probably the only driver to win in every iRacing series here at 4 Wide Motorsports, and that is quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, it definitely is.
We're going to go through the results real quick and then get a quick break before we get back to our driver. Steven Luttrell picks up a win after starting in third. Carlson snapped the streak, lost the streak of wins in a row. It was 3 before this, but he'll settle for second. Cansdale, a much-needed good run, finishing in third. It was Paul Dillon, Chris Golden, rounding out the top 5. And it was Charles Oberg, who started on the front row, finishing in 6th. Landon Brown, after an early speeding penalty, finishes 7th. Pantano, who started on the pole and had a great run, got a black flag near the end of the race, had to come into the lane, falls to 8th spot. Daniel Jones, who started shotgun on the field, finishes in the top 10. Same with Benjamin Hallbaugh.
Yeah, and later on we're going to find Austin Pack, who just had a tough break, but he is able to compete. Finishes 11th, 12th, Yogi Schleer, 13th, Colt Briner, 14th, Joshua Tressler, and 15th, out of the race, Mr. Bradley Young.
So we'll take a quick break here, get all of our drivers settled, and get back to you with the top 3 interviews. Don't go anywhere. What a thriller from Rockingham. Green flag from flag to flag, and it was a great race for Austin Cansdale. Needed some good luck. Chris Norris is going to get to talk to him about that good luck.
Hey, Austin, how are you this evening, buddy?
I'm feeling pretty good. Hope there was a good show up there.
Yeah, it was a good race, man. Those top two guys, they were kind of the cream of the crop all evening long, but you were hanging in there. I mean, you did finish in third, which is a podium finish. That's good for the points. Uh, but there again, it just seems like we have to kind of trek back to Iowa, man, when everything kind of started kind of fluctuating for you. But it seems like tonight you might have hit the turn.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened these past couple of weeks. I've had this big old monkey on my back, and something heavy on my shoulder. I don't know what's been going on. I've just been very inconsistent, as Tracy would say, unlucky. I've been very unlucky the past couple of weeks. Been making rookie mistakes, and I finally got in the right headspace and finally just focused in and finally made a good clean race and didn't have no mess ups and got a top 3.
Yeah, well, that's a start, but myself, uh, your fans, they're ready to see you get up there, man, and get a win. Um, I can't wait. I know you're going to get one eventually. It's coming. But you got to start somewhere, and a third place is a good start.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Third place is always a great start. It's been a while since I've been on the top of the podium. Ever since Steven and Hunter, they're like y'all said, they're the cream of the crop. They're the best of the best, and it's just I feel appreciated to even compete with these guys every week, day in and day out, and hopefully try to get faster and hopefully get closer with them. I know they beat me. I think it was Spotter said like 15 seconds. But I also did take 2 tires on that last stop, trying to get a jump on them. But then my spotter said just a lap right after Steven pitted, and then a lap right after that Hunter pitted, and I knew they was going to take 4 tires, so it kind of threw the strategy I had out the window. But I know Zach Pantano pitted 3 laps too soon, and he wasn't going to make it on gas. So I just really dug down and really kept the truck underneath me and dug out this top 3.
Yeah, strategy plays such a huge role in what you guys do. But Austin, man, way to hang in there. Way to get that third place. Maybe next week it'll be number 2 or possibly even a checker flag. If you got anything that you want to say before we close out?
Yeah, I just want to thank Eastern Technical Design for being on the car, for Motorsports Network being on the car. I'd like to thank all my sponsors, all my fans. I know I got a bunch of fans in the stands. I got my fiance back there. She's always supporting me on. I got to thank Eric, Grace, Dylan, Taylor. They're my biggest supporters. They watch every race, and we always love talking about these races at the end. I want to thank Wayne Cannon for putting all this on, Tracy Brown for producing. I want to thank
Let's
Hunter
go,
Carlson.
Robo! Sorry.
I want to thank Hunter Carlson for making this Ron Hunter Day throwback scheme with a little bit of twist with the Eastern Technical Design on the hood. I love this car. It's a great car. We had a pink banner on the windshield to support Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we want to keep support for that. It's a big thing nowadays. It's always been a big thing, but we really are pushing that right now, and I just want to send a prayers to everybody that's fighting through cancer and all that, and I want to thank the good Lord above, and thank y'all for everything you do.
Amen to that. Breast cancer is a big thing. It takes a lot of lives every year. It's cancer in general. It's very unforgiving. It's tough on the families and anybody that's a survivor out there. That I commend you for your strength and your integrity and will to just carry on. But, Austin, thank you so much, man. Again, congratulations on third, and hopefully you'll be moving up the podium next week.
Thank you so much.
All right, man. Have a good night. Scott, back to you, buddy.
Well, up next, we've got Hunter Carlson coming home in second. And Hunter, obviously, this one's a little tough, even though it's second place. It seems very good, but it snapped that 3 in a row streak. I know you said you were excited to go for the number 4. I think it really came down to that last pit stop. I think Luttrell was really fast all day. You were slowly closing in. What do you think could have changed to possibly put you up towards the front from that last pit stop forward?
Maybe just pit with him. I didn't help. I slid through my box the first 2 stops of the race and put myself in the back every time. But just pit the same lap and then just manage the lap cars a little better. They weren't really doing me any favors tonight, but all in all, it was a valiant effort on my part, and Steven's not one to really make a mistake out there. And that's all I was really hoping for was possibly a mistake, something I could take advantage of, and it never came.
I think some lap cars made it really, really close. You would have seen how close they were to us possibly having our first caution of the evening. What was it like in this race with there being no cautions? Do you think it just made it tougher to get closer to the leader?
Yeah, because any mistake you made was just maximized to the fullest extent. Anytime I had to lift because I got tight, I'd lose a couple tenths, but those would just mount on top of each other. And anytime, especially if you slide through your box, you're losing probably anywhere from 1 to 2 seconds there on pit road, and just any little mistake just adds up at the end. And in the end, mistakes cost me, and I just wasn't nearly as fast as I should have been on the last run.
As the championship leader, what's the mindset as you continue on throughout this season after this being the first race you haven't won?
Obviously, you want to go out and try to win every race you can, and winning's great, it really is. But at this moment, I'm just trying to stay on that podium every week, just try to keep extending that points lead after every race, and try to win this championship ultimately, and try and become all 3-time.
Couldn't agree more. You were the first multi-time champion. He's going for 3. A lot of races to run. Hunter, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank TJ Spanauer over at Studio 86. Thank you, buddy. I love you. Thank you for always making me look good out there, and even though the cars look better than my skills sometimes. Want to thank everyone over at Copperhead Racing, Christian Strader, TJ, Brandon, heck, even Steven half the time. They're all my biggest supporters out there, pushing each other, making each other faster every week, and it's evident as the results keep getting better every week with us. And and everyone over at Victory Fuel for supporting me. Use Code Chef for 10% off there, and want to thank 4-Way Motorsports for having this network. It's awesome to be able to have these races broadcasted and for the world to see and show what we can do here.
Well, you put an excellent product out. It's been some excellent racing in 4-Wide Motorsports the past couple of races, flag to flag. I know you wanted a little bit more, but I know you're happy with a second. Congratulations, Hunter.
Thank you.
Hunter Carlson comes home second. Let's talk now to your race winner, Stephen Luttrell, the man in the 36. Stephen, did you know this? Now, unofficially, but I'm pretty sure it's confirmed. I'm using my own brain. You are the only driver to win in every single iRacing car we have run at 4-Wide Motorsports.
I had no idea. I did not know that.
I didn't either. Me and Emmett were going through it, and we were like, yep, you won once in the SKs. You won in the mini stocks, obviously. You won in the ARCA car. You've won in the late models. You won in the Gen 4s, clearly, and now you've won in the trucks. I believe you're the only driver to do that. And we were talking about when you were battling with Zach Pantano, we were talking about Pantano, not a bad driver at all, but I think we've just seen consistent and continual results from you. What was this race like? Because you obviously didn't start in the front. You started in third, but it seemed like you were just more patient than most of the drivers around you.
Yeah, Pantano was tough to get around. He made sure to drive my line whenever I got up close to him. But yeah, eventually able to get around him. I just make your tires last as long as you possibly can. And I noticed that his tires were falling off, and I could keep on pushing it. So we got around him, and kept Hunter behind us somehow.
What went through your mind when Hunter Carlson comes to pit road, or when he doesn't come into pit road with you on that last stop?
Oh, that was a sigh of relief. I called out that I was pitting, and I just kept going, don't pit, don't pit, don't pit behind me. But I was more worried that he was going to pit a lap before me, so I pitted the lap I could and still make it on field. I gave myself a 2-lap buffer, but yeah, I did not want him to pit before me. That was going to really drive me nuts.
With us having no cautions up until that point, when it's coming down to the end and you can see in your relative that Carlson's fallen back a little bit, is the only thing at that point you're thinking about in your mind get to the white flag?
Oh, those last, I don't know, 5 laps, I was actually able to keep my distance on him. I kept looking down at the relative, and he was the same distance behind, And then I had some lap cars it was getting slick out there. Tires were old, and they were sliding around and hitting the wall. And I'm just praying, just get me to the white flag. I think those last 5 laps lasted 20 laps.
I can empathize with those feelings. That's how I felt last week in the late models. Just get me to the end. And man, you are really talented. You put on an excellent show, a great race. Made no mistakes tonight. Anyone you'd like to thank?
Oh yeah, you guys for putting on the broadcast, letting my family and friends watch, and all of Four Wide Motorsports, all the leagues they put on, the broadcasting that they do. I got to say hi, Mom, as it's on the side of my
I
truck.
saw it.
Yeah. My dad, my wife, my 2 daughters, my grandson Mason. I got to say hey to my brother Eric. I think he's watching right now. And 10th Mountain Division for keeping us free.
Well, congratulations, Stephen. You are now I guess, the winningest driver across many different iRacing vehicles run in Four Wide Motorsports. Another great race. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Stephen Luttrell picks up a win in the trucks. He continues to show his extreme talent here on the iRacing platform within Four Wide Motorsports. Chris, your final thoughts on this evening?
Yeah, what a race. I mean, it's not all the time you get to watch a race, green flag, or green flag to checker flag. That was just awesome by these drivers. It's good to show you what kind of talent that Four Wide recruits, and that they just don't settle for anybody. Also, I want to thank Stephen Luttrell for that 10th Mountain patch on the hood of his car. As a former airborne soldier and Fort Bragg soldier, I've had the pleasure of working along shoulder to shoulder with the 10th Mountain Division. And thank you for supporting our troops, Stephen. Appreciate that.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, Chris. And really, really appreciative to everyone here at Four Wide Motorsports. 2 weeks in a row on the Monday night series with green flag racing from flag to flag. It just goes to show that excellence is required here at Four Wide Motorsports, and the drivers continuing to show it here as of recently. That's going to be it for us here from Rockingham within the Truck Series. We've got Friday night this weekend, the All-Star race for the Gen 4s at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Come out to see that here on the Four Wide Motorsports Network. And, of course, we're over to Slinger in the late model stocks. We'll go all the way up to Wisconsin for race number 4 with the late models. Congratulations to Stephen Luttrell on the win tonight. And, of course, for my colleagues in the booth, Tracy Brown in production, to Chris Norris, as well as Emmett Crow. My name is Scott Shive. We'll see you next time on the Four Wide Motorsports Network.
Good night, everybody.